Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. Today I'd like to go back to the case of the Idaho 4. John Jack Roger Showalter was one of the last people to see Maddie and KAYLEE alive. John Jack Roger Showalter, aka also known as Hoodie Guy, said that he doesn't know KAYLEE. Hunter said that he doesn't even know KAYLEE. I find that to be very odd, very strange. So he said he knew Maddie through her boyfriend Jake, and he said that he walked from home to his apartment. Wonder if there's any CCTV surveillance. He said he took shortcuts. How convenient. There was red liquid found on his front door, I believe, traces. And he called from Boise, Idaho. He called the police and we heard the body cam of him calling the police. Explains he doesn't even know KAYLEE. Quite strange. But what is interesting is he said that he found out at 10 a.m. to a group chat that 4 victims were unalived at 1122 King Road. That's when he found out. So did he leave after he found out? Because he spoke to the police the next day. Where was Showalter? He was always an interesting person. Let's not forget, he knows Bethany Funk well. That's why he used to always say, I believe it's an inside job. He went to the same college with DM. Isn't that interesting? They both are from Boise, Idaho. So is Jake. Many of them are from Boise, Idaho. And the trial was at Ada County, Boise, Idaho. The Showalters sit in a powerful position in Boise, Idaho. Even they have strong influences in Idaho, Moscow. They have a whole street named after them, the Showalter Road or Showalter Street in Moscow, Idaho. Wonder if that's why it became such a big cover-up, in my opinion. One of the reasons. It's written downstairs that he was one of the last people to see Maddie and KAYLEE alive. He got kicked out of his fraternity, it was said, by KAYLEE. And he was kicked out of his fraternity by Ethan, and he was kicked out of the corner club by KAYLEE, who he says he doesn't know. That was the speculations. Rumors coming from the college. We don't know if that is true. He looked much handsomer and healthier when he was at the fraternity. Something just flipped for him, I think. Because he had a lot of sex harassments going around his life. The girls reported him even before they were unalived, allegedly. Jack Showalter's apartment is the red dot near KAYLEE's house. KAYLEE was rude to him at the bar, got him kicked out, and snapped. He snapped. Let's not forget, Ethan got him kicked out of his fraternity. The person said the case is solved, according to them. Not that easily. There was many motives, many targets, many reasons. So it can't just be solved like that. But I believe that Jack Showalter had 2 important targets and 2 motives. KAYLEE, that's why he's saying he doesn't know KAYLEE, I believe. And Ethan. And once Ethan is a target, that makes his girlfriend Zana a target too. She's not going to just keep quiet. He has hunting skills. He's a champion wrestler, Junior. He's a hunter. And he's their neighbor. This was what somebody said who was at the bar that night. It's a fact that Hoodie Guy had been acting weird at the bar and the girls had complained as he was creeping them out. My niece was with them and her roommates along with other sorority sisters that evening at the bar. He had creeped the girls out that much to make her complain. Stalking behavior, if you ask me. And she continues by saying that he continued going to the grub truck and harassing the girls, making them feel uncomfortable. I remember this from the very beginning. This woman put it up on Facebook. Her niece and her niece's roommates and the sororities, that means KAYLEE sororities or Maddie sororities, were at the corner club. And they were watching Showalter harassing the girls. So that's why they believe he attacked Maddie, and that will make sense. He knows how to use a K-bar. Somebody asked me in my comment channel if Showalter has a brother his age. He does have a brother who's adopted, Hank, the one in the pink jumper. He's almost his age. And he has two older brothers that are doctors, and his mother and father are surgeons. So I don't think he has any other brother his age, unless I missed that, besides Hank. And Hank goes to Moscow Idaho University, too. He was asked where he was that night, and he said he had nothing to do with it. He was at his fraternity, I believe. I've read out this Facebook article many times. A girl from Boise, Idaho, put this up in the very beginning. She said she's originally from Boise, but currently living out of state. She worked basically with John Jack Showalter, and he was harassing her and the co-workers, the peers, who all were females, at the FRAT bread bakery in 2021. She said she had to literally slap him to get him out of the way. So this is one of the reasons he got kicked out of his fraternity. Disturbing, concerning behaviors towards females. Did he hate KAYLEE that much? Allegedly. He was very rude to the female. You can see the disgusting language he used on her, and she had to slap him. SEX harassments was always something he was involved in, allegedly. He was showing unalived coyotes in front of girls' sororities. And he already had two targets. Ethan, who got him kicked out of his fraternity, and KAYLEE, who got him kicked out of the corner club the night before, I believe. In my opinion only. The girl is even saying it's on the records at Flatbread, Boise, Idaho. So she's basically telling the world to watch out for Showalter, because when she saw him at the grub truck, when she saw the video, she got concerned. It brought back, obviously, memories. This is PTSD, in my opinion. He's a hunter, champion wrestler, junior champion wrestler. We've heard of fight clubs that night, allegedly. So this concerned this female who was working with him. She had to slap him. So that's serious. He was even threatening the girls. You know we're going to get you for that, Maddie, is what I thought he said. This was people from the college's opinions in the very beginning of the case. I think the neighbor did it. The girls had filed reports with the local police claiming he had stalked them. So they're trying to say Jack Showalter, John, Rogers, Jack Showalter did it allegedly. He was stalking the girls and they reported him to the local police. I remember hearing that in the very beginning when we heard the rumor of Maddie have flashing rugs worth $75,000. This rumor was going on that the girls were going to report Showalter. Not only that, apparently Showalter had some involvement to do with Hudson. Lindo is unaliving. They went to the same fraternity and he was unalived in that party. So this person is trying to say, and when you continue reading, you'll see they're saying the motives was that Ethan got Showalter kicked out of his fraternity and KAYLEE got him kicked out of the corner club. I'm sure there are more motives than that, but Showalter was the closest neighbor. He was the only one who left town the next day. Both the Jacks and both the Davids and the surviving roommates and the Banfield boys are quite interesting in my opinion. From the very, very beginning, I've noticed the timelines don't look to be the same. That's why I started basically analyzing the timeline between 2 to 2:15. And then many people started following that and checking into that, which is good because you can clearly see not all of them were unalived at 4 a.m. Something is clearly wrong. I believe Showalter is well protected. He has a big role to play in this case. So does Jack D. So does DM. Her story doesn't make sense at all. There were many people from the beginning of this case were saying that it was Jack D, and many were saying it was Jack Showalter. I'm talking about the college students. And I'll read out those articles soon. There are many of them. I find it interesting that many people thought that Jack Showalter, hoodie guy, had something to do with it from the very beginning. The person says that hoodie guy was a champion wrestler, junior wrestler, skilled hunter. We've seen him with K-bars. He's been hunting since he's 15 years old. He got kicked out of the fraternity, and these people worship the fraternities. Let's not forget. Both the Jacks were having a terrible time before the quadruples happened. One got kicked out of his fraternity, and the other one got kicked out of KAYLEE's life. KAYLEE didn't want Jack D anymore. His own professor was concerned. He got himself an attorney in the middle of the interview, so Jack D's another one. But Showalter, he had a misdemeanor in 2023 for disturbing the peace with his alcohol nonsense and disturbing the neighborhood. His name is John Roger Showalter. Was it him who was acting as Papa Rogers? I wonder. Jack Showalter should have been looked into. Definitely, because he was going through some mental struggles, I believe. Some emotional changes. He's got privilege. Parents, brothers who are doctors, mother, father who are surgeons. And he was making too much trouble in the university. Wonder if he had antisocial personality disorder. Unaliving animals, bothering females, harassing females, all are symptoms. Let me know what you think. Showalter was clearly having beef with Ethan and KAYLEE. And if you have beef with Ethan, you have beef with Zana. And if you have beef with KAYLEE, you have beef with Maddie, I would assume. Was that the reason KAYLEE was taking photos of Jack Showalter and the group standing behind her at the grub shop. It was also eerie at the grub shop. From the age of 15, 16, he was unaliving animals with K-bars. That's interesting. I know Idaho is a hunting town, but still, his behavior, everything he was going through, doesn't make sense. So this woman was saying her niece was at the corner club. The sorority sisters were there. Showalter was there bothering, harassing the girls as usual. Apparently the girls reported him to the local police. Maybe they were going to report him and he took that as a threat and unalived them. What do you think? Let me know. So according to her, hoodie guy was acting really weird. And he was bothering Maddie and Kaylee.